my pleasure to welcome you to our latest installment of Continuing Cultural Conversations here at the library. In the past, the library has previously hosted a series of continuing cultural conversations in conjunction with such groups as the Aging in Place Partnership of South Brunswick and the New Jersey Humanities Council. For today, we're very pleased to present the first of a new series of conversations during 2016 that will focus on the major faiths around the world. Today's installment, Dispelling Myths About Islam, is offered in partnership with the South Brunswick Human Rights Commission, the Interfaith Clergy Association of the Greater South Brunswick Area, and the South Brunswick Community Resource Team. I know there are several members of those organizations here. If you could at least stand up and wave so we could acknowledge you and all the work that you do, that would be wonderful. Thank you. I know with us we do have Valerie Bowling of St. Barnabas. Thank you. And several other members. Coordination for today's event and bringing it all together has been possible through the efforts of Azra Baik. Again, she's a member of the Human Rights Commission.
I'm going to just set it up by giving you a sentence or two about it. It's called The New Colossus. It was written about 1882 by Emma Lazarus. And on the surface, well, not just on the surface, it's about the Statue of Liberty and what it stands for in this country. The old Colossus, which was called the Colossus of Rhodes, was from ancient Greek times, and it used to be a big statue that was guarding the harbor at Rhodes, at the city of Rhodes. And the idea of that statue was it was very warlike and big and scary. And when you entered, you know, they wanted to give you a little bit of fear. And she's comparing that to the Statue of Liberty by calling the statue the New Colossus. And she says, not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land. Here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. Makes me a little choked up because it should. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep ancient lands your storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. And that's what our country is, the golden door. So that's what we're about, and we have to think of that at times like this. And a shorter poem of not remembering. This was written during World War II or thereabouts, and the idea was that the intellectuals of Germany were letting the Nazis get away with things, and he was very angry about it. This poem has taken several forms, but this was the form he liked the best. First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out. So these, I think, are two poems that, for me, represent where we are today, the great things our country is about, and the fears we should have if we're not careful. Thank you very much.
What is a very, very nice day, but yet you're here because this is an important cultural conversation. I can tell you, Mr. Zwicker and I represent 14 towns in the 16th legislative district. Not every one of them is doing what this town and this particular public library is doing today. And that's not to be critical of them, but it's to say something very special about South Brunswick and about this public library in particular. This is what a public library should be doing, forcing us to engage in conversation, and today cultural conversation. There is power and beauty in diversity. And one of the great things about the 16th legislative district is I think it is one of the most diverse in the state. It has every creed, color, religion, ethnicity. It's got the far right, it's got the far left, but quite frankly, I think that makes Andrew and I better legislators. What I find sometimes in the state legislatures, and I think Senator Greenstein would agree, is those folks that come from very, very, very homogeneous district tend to be a little less open-minded. And that's not really what democracy in this country in particular are all about. So with that, Susie Ismail, welcome. Looking so forward to your talk. I can't tell you how impressed I am with your daughter. Yes, I have befriended her quite quickly. If she ever decides to run for office against me, I lose hands down. In fact, I might vote for her. So I'm going to continue to make real close friendship with her daughter. But Susie, I look forward to your talk. Thank you both so very, very much. Thank you all.
It's good to be in this particular library because I'm a South Brunswick resident. And I was thinking, so I grew up in Englewood, New Jersey, up in Bergen County, an incredibly diverse community still to this day. And I got a tremendous public education at Brighton High School, in part, as Jack was talking about, because of the diversity. My three children who are, I have two who have graduated from South Brunswick High School, and one who's a 10th grader right now, are getting that exact same diversity of education because of the diversity of the people of South Brunswick. And I feel very, very fortunate to be a part of this community. I also think that today is absolutely a critical part of the equation, part of what we need to do, coming together as a community to talk about this. But I would like to offer up a challenge that goes beyond this, because as we see, really, as Senator Greenstein referred to, some of the horrifying rhetoric that's going on at the national level, I'd like to challenge each of us in this room to make today a part of this conversation, but really a beginning. That today isn't just about coming together as a community to talk about these issues, but to follow up on the words of the second poem that the Senator read, which is to speak up, to take action, and to make sure that it's not just for us as individuals, but that for us as a community here in South Brunswick, in the 16th District, and in the entire state, that we will not allow the hatred and the negative rhetoric and the things that do not represent us as people, as Americans, to create in our community. And so today has to be really just a beginning. And I'm very, very thankful to be a part of this. Thank you to the library for organizing this, and really looking forward to where we go from here. So thank you very much.